Okay. I know that Shell and I look alike. We're very similar. But my name is Kevin Cooley. I'm the high school band teacher. Just to give you a little background on that, the students asked, "Can we please do some holiday music?" I said, "Sure, if you put it together." So they put together, and I quote, "the fifth grade version of Jingle Bells." So there's your holiday music for the evening from the band. Tonight we're going to be starting the band concert after that processional with the Holst Military Suite in E flat. This is a standard in the band library. Holst wrote a lot of famous things like The Planets. You probably heard his music before. But this is a staple that looms large in the band library, and I'm very excited that we got a chance to play it. It is 3 movements, and for those who might not know, but usually between each movements it feels weird, but you don't usually clap. We'll change the music and we'll go. It'll feel strange compared to normal, and then at the end we will enjoy your applause. But we hope you enjoy the entirety of the Holst Military Suite in E flat. Doesn't it feel weird not to clap between the movements? It feels wrong. It does. So that piece, it's not about anything in particular. Besides, I would just say it feels British. That's what I always think of. A British tune in my head when I'm thinking of that. But one of the ideas that was happening in that piece, and I'm sure you heard it, is that there was these two groups that formed with the melodies, and then Holst famously plays both groups right on top of each other. That's like his thing. He likes to do that. And this starts our journey as we start to fragment melody, and it's this idea called counterpoint. It's like having a conversation. This next piece we're moving to, Rhythm Stand, this is much more modern. But in this, you'll hear these groups that will start to form. And the conversation, instead of it being one group giving the whole melody, each gives a piece of it. And that fragment eventually blooms into the actual melody that Jennifer Higdon is looking for. It's a fun one. You'll see in a second why we call it Rhythm Stand, but we hope you enjoy Rhythm Stand. If this is your first high school band concert, you're probably wondering, why are all the kids getting up and walking around in between every piece? That's a rational question to ask. One of the things we do a little bit different here at Platteville High School is we don't assign a chair that is permanent throughout the concert cycle. Instead, we have the students switch chairs between the concert cycle, because my philosophy is that you don't really know how to be a first player if you don't know how to be a second player. And you don't really know how to be a second player if you don't know how to be a third player. It's not the misconception of the best is first and the worst is third. Each part has a role. So I have the kids switch so they get a taste of all of those parts. So I think in that last piece you could hear this fragmentation that I was talking about. We had a melody and it splits up and it's all this interesting things. This is the next extreme, and the universe exploded. believe it or not, it's not a tyrant of a piece. It's actually pretty relaxed, the whole thing. But one of the things that Olivia Kiefer does, is she uses an idea called minimalism. And it's this idea of we have a single piece, and I just do this single piece over and over again. But then when we put everyone else's single piece together, that's how we get the art. So no individual is really contributing the whole picture. Olivia Kiefer, fun fact, is actually from Wisconsin. She grew up in Appleton, went to UW Milwaukee, and this piece is just a really cool example of modern band literature. It is a little out there, I'll be honest with you. So my advice would be this: if you've not listened to postmodern music as much as I have, let your mind go. Enjoy the ride that it goes on. That is the point of minimalism music. We actually listen to minimalism music a lot. It's what we use in movies. You don't walk away humming a certain tune. It's just the way you feel as you do. I do want to cue you in that we are going to do a light thing at the end of this that is supposed to happen, so don't freak out. Okay. We had planned a blackout at the end of that, but we'll call it a technical foul there. But very modern pieces. We hope you enjoy this. This is kind of leading us into our next concert series. The band received a grant, and we're going to be playing a symphony that's multimodal. So there's going to be synced video, our music, and then synced sound that all happen simultaneously for almost like a planet Earth kind of effect is what we're building to our next cycle. But we're going to invite the strings up, so if you want to give us just a second to change up the stage, thank you very much.
Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with what this group is, this is our Hillman Strings group, which meets on Thursday mornings starting at 7 o'clock. Yes, they come very early. So they put in the extra time so that we can do some of this extra music and get a little bit of the holiday season in on our concert here in December. So once again, that first song that you heard obviously was a Charlie Brown medley of some of the music from the obviously that little Charlie Brown movie. And then the second one was a kind of a weird version of Jingle Bells, right? So you heard many different things, some notes that were weird, but they're supposed to be like that, right? Give you a little different flavor of Jingle Bells. So we're going to finish with the well-known Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Okay, as we make a transition here, we are going to go to our orchestra now. We're going to be doing 4 songs for you. I'll talk a little bit more about those later. I do want to bring up a few things. Once again, Mr. Cooley, did you bring up Culver's at all? Okay, I'll bring that up. So Culver's, once again, is very generous and donates part of their proceeds on concert nights. If you do go there, just mention Music Boosters, and 10% of their sales comes back to us. But you have to mention Music Boosters. If you don't do that, they won't do that. Speaking of Music Boosters, we can also use help with Music Boosters. We've got a great crew working with us now, but they can always use more people. So if you're willing to come out and support and be part of that, they meet, I think, every 2 months. Just check out the calendar. Do we have any officers here tonight? Can you raise your hands if we got some officers? Oh, one back there in the center and left. So check those people out raising their hands there. It looks like 2. So if you can, once again, talk to them. They can give you some information on it. But they support us in many ways, whether it's donations, whether it's food at events, whether it's just coming out and giving us a hand on things. And they do a lot of activities. So once again, please think about doing that. At least think about this thing. At least follow them on Facebook. That's a big thing because you'll see those feeds come across when you're looking at that. So it's one good way to support. So so these first 3 songs that we're going to be doing, this is our 3rd concert of the year already. You're probably saying 3rd concert, this is the first one we know about, right? So most of you probably didn't know. We went to UW Whitewater. So these first few songs that you're going to hear were ones that we did at Whitewater. Then following that, we went to Veterans Day and worked on that for about a month. And then we came back to this, circled around so that we could play this music for you. So we're going to start with a Mozart piece called Overture Lucia Sia. Okay, so that one is a brand new piece called Across the Winds. One of the things I did with the students on that one is we talked about how a song kind of creates a story. And in this instance, we spent probably 2 weeks talking about different things that this could mean, you know, whether it's environmental, whether it's a story of, you know, like Magic Kingdom or something to that effect. What was very interesting is most of the students went with like some type of journey or some type of environmental piece. But then we talked about how there was just some like drastic changes, almost like the weather. And so we kind of landed that way. And one of our students, which was Aspen, came up with the fact she talked about winds, and that's kind of what that developed into. So it was good that we kind of led to that because, once again, if you're composing, you're basically creating a story on page with music, right? So one of the things we talked about, just so you know, when I handed out the piece, I actually covered up the title. They didn't know what the title was when we talked about it, but we listened to it quite a bit. So going on to this next one, we're changing things a little bit more to more of a kind of a Spanish flavor, Tango Traccionero. You'll kind of hear, once again, we talked a lot about how this is just a very passionate dance between two people, and when they are dancing, they have to be really focused on each other. So you'll kind of hear that in the music as we're playing it with more of that kind of rigid kind of sound as we do it, and then a couple tempo changes. So I hope you enjoy Tango Traccionero. Okay, now one thing I left out, and I did it on purpose, is once again, we were talking about storytelling. That actually, I don't know if you noticed, seemed a little angry, right? And actually, that's kind of part of the title, is there's a little bitterness, a little anger between the people that are dancing. So it's kind of one of those things where a piece of music can really describe what's happening maybe between even people that are dancing. So one thing I do want to mention is the stage does need to be cleared after this, so if you can help out, we are coming up to our last song. I also do want to wish you a happy holiday, no matter how you celebrate it, whether you celebrate it with family, you take travel, go to somewhere nice and warm. Please enjoy that. So, once again, we in the music department here want to, of course, wish you the best of luck with that and enjoy those holiday times that are coming up here. The last song that we're doing is actually a song by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A lot of you have heard of that group. If you didn't know, they're actually going to be in Moline on Friday if you want to go. There's plenty of tickets still available. I'm just letting you know, down in the Quad Cities. So, once again, this is probably their signature song. It's called Christmas Eve Sarajevo. I hope you enjoy it. And once again, have a happy holiday. And if you can help us pack up the stage afterwards, that would be great.